Have you been impressed, Taddy, from what you have seen ever since we saw the end of the normalization committee and we saw the executive committee, the substantive coming into play? Yeah, are there any areas that probably you can quickly just touch on that you think they've done well, then areas that you think maybe need a bit of improvement?
Yeah, not to try and please the president because he is here. I've been absolutely pleased with the way ZIFA has run their affairs since the 25th of January when they were thrust into office. You look at the memorandum of associations, memorandum of understandings that they have forged with different stakeholders, including with the humanitarian organizations, the introduction of the national anthem that is being played at every match day. That instills some patriotic values amongst Zimbabweans. The development path that they've taken. I've been impressed by it. Obviously, talking of the way football is being played, there have been some qualms about the refereeing across the board. That is from lower leagues up to the PSL. I don't know if that is their piece of bread, but they ought to be doing better than that, maybe by sending those guys to refresher courses, because we have been seeing some incompetencies, not here and there, but quite often.
Mm-hmm. So for you, you have also been going to the games, not only the top tier, like what Thaddeus has spoken about. I know you've also been to Division 1 here and there, but from your vantage point, what's your verdict the first 100 days in office of the new ZIFA Executive Committee?
And I think I'll just lead off with 3 words. I think it's been about visibility. There seems to be a lot of intentionality and transparency. I think those are the key takeaways from the first 100 days for me, especially when you compare to other boards that we've seen. Because I think in the past, there seemed to be a veil of secrecy, like in terms of what was happening. We had to sort of dig in. You'd call your source to try and figure out what's going on. But, half the time now, even for us as journalists, sometimes we get a little bit annoyed because then the statement comes out and even everyone, whether it's the ordinary man or us, so you don't get the exclusive anymore. But that's the intentionality and the transparency that I'm talking about. And I think even when you lead off with how visible the president has been himself, and even when you look at the way ZIFA has been communicating through their social media channels and all this, I think we've seen even match day programs coming up when the Warriors are playing. You go on when we can't always travel with the national team. I think the communication in terms of access to players and everything, I think that's improved the visibility of the national team. If I was to look at things maybe that I would think, all right, I wish we would have seen more of, I think one of the things that I wanted to see, not just from the current president, but when all the candidates were campaigning, my big thing was, how are we going to commercialize our game? And in terms of corporate partnerships and things that build around the Warriors brand. I know they're working on building on the Warriors brand, and that's where that visibility is coming. But I think, yes, it's only 100 days. I would have wanted to see a bit more in terms of saying, oh no, we've been able to rope in a commercial partner that is supporting the Warriors in doing A, B, C, D. I think we saw with the normalization committee, I think there was a technical partner for the kits and stuff like that. But that is what I want to see more, because globally, football is business. And I know the president himself, before here, yes, he grew up in football, loved football, but he had a very strong corporate background coming into the presidency. So I think that's one area, maybe he'll correct me, but that's one area that I would have just loved to see a bit more coming out in terms of his 100 days.